Hi, so in this video I'm going to be installing a Shadow Kill Pot in my 2000 Ibanez RG7421 7-string guitar. This will be part in a series of videos including pretty much rewiring the whole guitar, eventually leading to putting in a different pickup. I am going to be installing this kill switch Kill Pot by Shadow, which is outstanding. I love the installation I did on my 7420. Sounds great. Okay, let's talk about the concept of how this works. Okay, here's the kill switch. It has 3 connectors on it. I'm showing it to you in this position so it would be the same as if you were looking down into your compartment. In a normal setup, you have the ground going to what I've seen labeled as number 1, and the lead coming from your 5-position switch, or if you run your pickup directly like I'm going to, the lead from the pickup or the lead from the 5-position or 3-position switch goes to this position, which they call labeled number 3, and in the middle is number 2. Now, from your output jack, you have the ground from the output jack going to number 1 and the lead going to the output jack from position 2. So basically the hot lead is coming into 3, going into the potentiometer, and then coming out number 2. Now in my situation, I run an Ibanez, and it has a capacitor, a 0.033, I think, running between 2 and 3, and what that does is it bleeds off some of the high frequency at that level. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the capacitor between connector 3 and 2. But let's talk more about how the kill pot works. This form of kill switch, what you're doing is you're grounding across the lead and the ground to stop the flow of energy from the pickup. So on the top of the Shadow Kill Pot, you'll see 2 little dots, and that actually, they're holes, and there's solder on the other side. And when you run the ground to this contact here, and then run what is basically the output to the output jack, to the what is basically the positive contact. And when you push the switch together, when you push down on the switch, it bridges across these two contacts inside. Whatever you're replacing, if you're replacing existing wiring, you're going to have this 3-position setup in most cases. So 3 contact setup. So as long as you replace the existing volume potentiometer with the same wiring, and you simply run the ground to this contact, and the output to the positive to the output jack to this, you will be closing the circuit and stopping the flow. Got to bring the soldering iron up to temperature. When I'm soldering, I like to cut little marks in the metal so that the solder will stick to it better. And I'm going to be doing a trick here with the capacitor. If I can remember how I did it last time, it worked out really well. And if I got the name of the capacitor or the rating of the capacitor wrong, I'll correct it in the information below in the video. Okay, so I'm not sure if I remember how I did this last time, but I'm gonna take and bend the wire over contact 3 and 2. And that's, I want it pretty darn close. Okay, that's kind of close, actually. Probably perfect right there. And I'm gonna wrap the wire around I'm just using this to pull it tight. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing with contact 2 in the middle. I want to get at least 2 times around. There we go. Okay. That's pretty good. So I'll clip off the excess. And the last thing we want is extra wire. It's not the prettiest job that I've ever done, but it looks like it'll work. And of course, we want that to be flat. Now I'm going to be installing a orange drop 0.047 capacitor on the tone knob. So I am using these pieces of metal on the orange drop to bridge on the. You can use some sort of regular wire, but this works really well. So I'm just measuring a little bit so I can always clip it down. Now the two pieces of wire from the orange drop. you can see that that wire went through. From here, I can just bend it out a bit. So now I'm going to clip the end of it off here, because I think I got just enough room to reach. Maybe I should run it down a little bit further, or just dab a little right there, because that's pretty close. That might just work. Okay. Some solder on here. That looks pretty solid. I'm amazed. Now I'm gonna run the other one through. Bend this and get a little bit more room to work with right quick. It should be okay. Didn't quite work out so well on this one. Whoa, okay, I get it. Gotta make sure it's just long enough to touch. And then there. Don't want to make that come into contact with the body of it. Ground it out right there at the contact. Well, it's pretty stable. Yep. It's always good to run the knife in between. Make sure that there's no contact with the body of the potentiometer, because the body is the ground. In this case, this one's the ground, so if it were touching it wouldn't be a big deal, but so I'm going to clip that second positive lead, bend back up the contact 2 and 3, make sure my capacitor is still solidly soldered and attached. Okay, so once this is in the body, double checking my connection there. Lead 1 is the ground. The ground from the pickup selector goes there, or from the pickup itself when it's just a pickup, straight pickup to volume knob. And that is also the ground that runs from the volume knob, or from the tone knob, and the positive lead from the tone knob goes to connector 2 as well. But coming in from the pickup selector, the positive goes to connector 3. And in my setup, the Ibanez setup, there is this potentiometer capacitor for the volume between connector 2 and 3. Now, this is all ready for me to put into the guitar, and I'm just going to run a straight pickup to volume potentiometer. So I'll just be running my positive from pickup to here, and then running the positive from the pickup to connector 3, and the ground from the pickup to connector 1. I'll be running the positive from the tone connector 2, and the ground, of course, from the tone knob to connector 1. And then the ground from the output jack goes to connector 1, and the lead to the output jack goes to connector 2. And that's the Kill Pot installation. The main thing is just getting these two connectors between your ground and the lead out to your output jack. Once you get those two connectors in place, then it should be good to go. As far as copying the wiring diagram from the volume potentiometer that you're replacing. So that should be good to go.